Log of the Starship Enterprise, stardate 5943.7.
Captain Kirk, this is Lieutenant Uhura. Mr. Spock is ready to patch in. Go ahead, Mr. Spock.
I'm on the surface of the destroyed barbarian planet now, Captain.
Destroyed? What do you see, Mr. Spock?
The surviving inhabitants are in a dreadful condition. It seems they can't control their limbs, and their minds are dull and useless. Fascinating. They seem to be in a state identical to that curious 20th century Earth disease called hard drug abuse. I suspect it has destroyed all meaningful life on this wretched planet.
A tragic find, Mr. Spock.
As a Vulcan, I find the need for hard drugs to be totally illogical.
But as a half-human Spock, surely you can appreciate the suffering that hard drug abuse causes. We can only hope that other civilizations will not make the same mistake.
Hi, I'm Mel Blanc, and I'm not a cartoon character. I'm the human who does funny cartoon voices. If you're using hard drugs like heroin or barbiturates, you're part of another kind of make-believe world, one in which natural creative talents are damaged and repressed. And there's nothing funny about that. Take it from someone who has spent 50 years happily creating make-believe. Hard drugs are a trap, not an escape. And that's all, folks.
This is Bugs Bunny. I've been a pop star all my life, man, I've seen it all. Along the way, I've heard of some folks getting mixed up with hard drugs, like smack and downers. Now let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with sharing a good, healthy carrot with some pals before a show. But stay away from those bad, hard drugs, unless you want to wind up asking me, what's up, Doc?
Hello, America. This is Daffy Duck. I may be daffy, but I'm not crazy. I'm smart enough to know that hard drugs like heroin and downers are a bummer. Don't fool with them. Take it from yours truly, dangerous drugs are despicable. See ya. Stop. I said, stop. I said, hold on there, boy. I said, what are those red and yellow pills you got there? Egad, youngster. As sure as my name is Foghorn Leghorn, those things can cook your goose. Good work, son. I don't mind saying it when it comes to them things. I say the smart thing to do is be just plain chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Porky Pig. Everybody knows I live in a make-believe world, but I never want to return to the place I went to last night. Oh, no. Sure is a funny party. What's this? Why are all these people so tired? I can't understand their mumbling. That was what I call a lousy party. Those people were using hard drugs, like smack and downers. Why, I've heard that many of the downers are low-grade animal tranquilizers, unfit for human consumption. Oh, it's a terrible risk. But I guess some folks think that being out of it is being in. I hope that none of my friends fall for it. There are better ways to party, yeah. That's all, folks.
If you're gonna play, put your dough in. What is this?
I'm Yosemite Sam, the roughest, toughest cowpoke in the whole darn West. Lately, it seems like there ain't no tough guys left except me. Shucks, I can lick about 50 of those modern vomits at one time. The streets are just loaded with aimless sidewinders taking the hard way out, using those things they call downers, turning them into mashed potatoes. Oh, it's a disgrace. fools still believe I'm badder than snake spit. When the polecats looking for trouble can't stand up because they're down. Oh, it just makes me furious.
A dragon lives forever, but not so, little boys. Painted wings and giant's rings make way for other toys. Puff the Magic Dragon is not a song about drugs. It's about believing in things like dragons and like a better world, and believing in those things makes them possible. This is Peter Yarrow. I wrote the song Puff the Magic Dragon, and I know what it's about. About growing up and choosing other things. If you choose to interpret this song as a drug song, or if you choose drugs, you may be choosing death. He lived by the sea, and he frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called...
Don't shoot up, oh no. Oh, don't you do it now. Don't shoot up, oh no. Second downs are such a drag. Call it junk or call it skag. Just be cool, don't cop that bag. Don't shoot up.
This is Sha Na Na. Ever get beat up by 12 tough guys in a dog alley? Take our word for it. Victims don't feel real good. Don't make yourself a victim to hard drugs. If you do, we'll break all your arms and all your legs.
You can do your alcohol, stay away from second all. Those two things don't mix at all. Don't shoot up.
Boom, 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 boom.
Don't shoot up. Oh no. Oh, don't you do it now, now. Don't shoot up. Oh no, yeah. So if you wanna get along, get yourself on something soft. Better things to get you off. Don't shoot up.
You understand?
Hello, this is Alice Cooper. Of all the ways to get off nowadays, hard drugs isn't one of your best choices. In fact, it's a perfectly stupid choice.
Life's formed from the ups and downs.
I can only tell you one thing. If I ever catch any of you taking drugs, I will personally come to your house and slit your puppy's throat.
Hello, folks. This is Frank Zappa, here to suggest that you unload yourself. Don't use smack or downers.
Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Gregg Allmän. You know, life has many problems. We all have our ups and downs. But one problem we don't need is hard drugs. And you know the jive ones I mean. Put your energies into some positive work. And I'm sure you'll find it works much better for you, baby.
Hello, this is Ringo. Dangerous drugs aren't an escape. They're a trap. I'm talking about heroin and barbiturates. Anyone who wants to use them is on a dead-end street. I think it's time we all got together and took a good look at what drugs are doing to a lot of your friends, and my friends, here and across the sea. If you really love them, tell them not to use dangerous drugs.
This is Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, and there ain't too many things that we're going to tell you not to do. But there's two things that you probably shouldn't do. And look, there's better ways. You want to lay out? You want to get laid back and watch some television or something? Keep your eyes open. You don't have to do no smack, and you don't have to do no downs, right?
Right. That's right.
No down. No down. No smack.
Love and happiness. Love and happiness. That's what life should be all about. I'm Al Green asking you not to negate your existence with downers and heroin. I believe in life and hope that you do too. Live with reality and love and happiness. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you'd like to know about hard drugs, take a listen to Johnny Winter.
I really wasn't ever a junkie. I never was really physically addicted, but I was so close, and I was definitely psychologically addicted. I always thought I was a pretty cool together person, and you can't think you're cool and together if you're a junkie. So I knew that I couldn't stay alive with the self-hatred that I was starting to feel for myself. It was just either stop it somehow or die.
This is Mahavishnu, John McLaughlin. I have had 3 dear friends, great musicians, die as a result of heroin. And I feel a great loss due to drugs. My personal feeling is that I cannot urge anyone enough to stop using drugs.
Hi, this is Robin Trower. I'm totally against any form of hard drugs. If you've ever thought of using or even trying them, please don't. And if you know anyone who is a user, please try to help them all you can. Thank you.
Hi, this is Roy Kenner from James Gang. Over the last few years, I've had to be in the unfortunate position of being told that someone close to you has died from an OD of smack, reds, speed maybe. And it's a drag, man, it really is. So if you have someone that you dig, someone that you love, who is into these things, or if you're into them yourself, try living instead of dying.
Just believe in yourself.
I sell the morning paper, sir. My name is Jimmy Brown, and everybody knows that I'm the newsboy of the town. Hi, this is Phil Oakes. Ever since the assassination of John Kennedy, things began to fall apart in this country. People started caring less for each other and thought less of themselves. Some tried to escape as we suffered through 2 reactionary administrations. The war in Vietnam and the use of hard drugs have taken many lives. Now the war is over, but drugs continue their destruction. I believe it's time to turn the corner. We can get America back if we get ourselves back. You don't need drugs. You don't need gurus. You only need to believe in yourself. Remember, it only takes a small circle of friends to get back to a life based on reality rather than escape.
Stevie Wonder raps about hard drugs.
He sees a four-eyed cartoon monster on the TV screen. He takes another puff and says, it's a crazy scene. The red is green and I'm a tangerine. Life is not a fantasy. Life is not a drug. Life is not sticking the needle in your vein. Life is a reality. Get it together. Happiness is only found within.
Hi, I'm Steve Miller, and I want to talk to you about something
that's really serious. It's heroin and downers and hard drugs. You take it from Maurice, the space cowboy, the gangster of love, baby. Don't do it, and you'll be a lot healthier and a lot happier, especially you.
John Lord and Ian Paice of Deep Purple talk about hard drug use.
I would call it personally a senseless waste of a human body, the only one you have. And to me, it seems it's just throwing it right down the drain.
It's the saddest thing anybody can do to themselves. You see the end product, and it's not a human being anymore. And who wants not to be a human being?
We all came out to Montreux.
Beer leads to heroin, there's no question about it. Definitely.
Mother's milk leads to cannabinol.
High, but not too high. This is George Carlin. I'm sitting here, I have on a yellow hat, a pink shirt, dark sunglasses, and an earring in my ear. And I'm going to tell you not to get into heavy drugs. Well, it sounds bizarre, I know, but there are other things to do with your life, other things to help you make it. Heavy drugs make it all worse, and they help you die.
Fred is on the corner now. If you want to be a junkie, wow. Remember, Fred is dead. I'm Curtis Mayfield. Fred is dead because of heroin. Don't you make that mistake. Get off on life and music instead. Huh?
Hi, this is Al Kooper. Among other things, do you know how much heroin costs in the street today? If you want to kill yourself, why don't you just smoke cigarettes? It's a lot cheaper.
I'm Jackie Wilson, and I'm here speaking on the subject of hard drugs, such as heroin and downs. There's a lot of us out here that know it's nothing to it. So if you are using it, well, get up off it, baby. It's not worth it.
Your love lifted me higher than I've ever been lifted before.
Yeah, this is Dr. Jones, Night Tripper. 15 minutes in heaven ain't worth 15 years in hell. The use of heroin is just getting out of hand, and no matter how you look at it, man, it's like, you know, whether a guy winds up in the penitentiary or he winds up in the cemetery, neither one is no place to wind up.
Just got to give myself a good talking to this time.
Cory Wells of Three Dog Night.
I am definitely against hard drugs. My opinion about the way the drug thing was told to the public was marijuana was included with all the other drugs. But I am definitely against hard drugs. I don't use hard drugs. I don't believe in hard drugs. I don't really need those things.
Well, I'm gonna write a little letter, I'm gonna mail it to my local DJ. Yeah, it's the jumping little record I want my jockey to play.
This is Chuck Berry. I hope you users of drugs hear me, but I'm training my voice to the ears of those who may yet start to using drugs. There's no hassle you could have that's as great as trying to quit. It's way harder to quit than it is to start using. And if you don't quit, it'll get you.
Hi, this is Nickey Barclay of Fanny.
I've been a musician for many years, and I've seen a lot of really talented, creative people go right down the tubes because they got into hard drugs. I'm talking about heroin and downers. I can't tell you what to do, nobody can, but if you're into these drugs, if you're thinking of getting into them, just don't do it. It's not worth it.
Hi, this is Mark Farner of Grand Funk. I'd just like to say a few words for the great musical talent that has fallen to the deadly hand of heroin and barbiturates. I know these people wouldn't want you to take the same bum trip in life, so let's learn from our brothers and sisters' mistake. Stay on the trip of life and away from downers. Hi, this is Mark of Grand Funk. I was asked by the National Association of Progressive Radio Announcers to tell you just what I think about downers. Well, I think you should stay the hell away from downers or they're going to take you down to hell, period.
Hi, this is Bernie Calvert of the Hollies. About the drug scene, barbiturates and heroin and things onto an impressionable age group of people that like to listen to our music. I say impressionable because at that age I was impressionable as well. When I joined the Hollies and we started to make it big around the world, I think I'd have tried virtually anything you'd care to throw at me. But I've learned a lot since then, and believe me, it's a bad scene. Lay off it.
Hello, this is Corky Siegel speaking to you on freedom. Freedom is a state of mind. Therefore, it is possible to be free in a society which is not. To be truly free, you must first be free of anything that has the potential to control your mind. Police and politicians cannot control your mind, but heavy drugs do. I'm not asking you to support an anti-drug movement. Just support your friends and use your influence. They want your help, and if you are into heavy drugs, please help yourself.
Hi, this is Jim Schwall from the Siegel-Schwall Band, and I want to tell you about what I think is getting high. I think it's making music or walking under a summer sky. Loving somebody's got to be the highest high, so why don't you kiss your smack and your down is goodbye. You know it's the wrong direction entirely, just not the way you really want to go. So when someone says let's get some Quaaludes or Reds, tell them no and tell them I told you so. Take care of yourself.
Hi, Sylvester the Hot Band. Girl, how do you expect to wear those strapless dresses with all those tracks in your arm? I mean, you can cover them up with opera-length gloves, but that ain't gonna do the trick. You ought to find something else to do with your arms like. Why don't you save your arms for loving? Save your arms for hugging. Save your arms for loving. Save your arms for hugging. Don't shoot it. Don't do it, baby. Together and stop doing hard drugs. They're no good for you.
Hi, this is Elvin Jones. I'm opposed to the use of illegal drugs. I believe that this is the best thing for my head, and I think that you might find it best for you. In particular, I'm against heroin and barbiturates. But I recommend a completely clean, meditative mind over the use of anything that chemically alters your consciousness.
B.B. King talks about hard drugs.
I believe that the younger ones are subsiding in that now. They are not, I think they're finding out that it's really no good. And we're losing too many people. I think I can understand why a lot of the people have gone into drugs, because so many times I've been so frustrated because I couldn't get things to work like I want them to. And this sometimes can really mess up your mind. If a guy is not using his mind and don't try to be really strong, you could really go into anything. It's just like they used to say about alcohol, and this I do know, that whatever problem you had when you got drunk, when you get through, you got two, because you got a hangover plus that other problem is still there. And that's the same thing I think about hard drugs. So I say, you know, it's no good. No good.
Here's O. Henry's famous Robin Hood of the Old West, a Cisco Kid.
This is Duncan Rinaldo, whom you've known as the Cisco Kid for many years. Look, if you use dangerous drugs, there is only one-way trip for you. That is suffering and ultimately death and nothing more. So please think very much before you get tempted to use anything like that. Don't use dangerous drugs. There's enough pain in the world without having to add to it. Happiness is a very important thing because, you know, if you are healthy and happy, then you're very rich. You couldn't be richer than that, no matter what you did. Remember that from me. Thank you.
Well, this is where we leave you, amigos, but we'll be back soon. Look for us.
Hello, I'm Anita of the Pointer Sisters. Jane Pointer.
I'm Ruth. Hi, I'm Bonnie.
You are what you eat, so don't be a dope.
Don't do smack around me, or I'll smack you upside your head.
In the world in which we live, and we gotta help you, man.
Hey, this is Wolfman Jack, and I'm here to talk serious to you, baby. Hard drugs never did anything good for anybody's head. I'm talking about heroin and barbiturates. They kill people, man. They wreck minds, burn brains, and definitely destroy your health. Do not use hard drugs.
Calling out to everyone across the nation.
Hello, I'm Gladys Knight. I'm sure you've heard about the hard drug problem, about what heroin and barbiturates are doing to anyone mistaken enough to fool with them. Remember, life and music are happy things, and that hard drugs have no place in either. Thanks.
Get on board.
This is Dave Mason. Sometimes things can get on top of you and everything seems like there's no way out, no escape from anything, but heroin and barbiturates aren't going to help you at all get out of any situation. The only way you're going to do that is just to think about things and give it time, and everything works out eventually. I love you. Take care of yourself.
'Cause you know that I mean what I say, so don't go.
I dig vegetables as much as the next person, but when vegetables have arms and legs and used to be friends of mine, it really upsets me. Smack, downers, and other heavy drugs make you a vegetable, and eventually they'll kill you. Don't become a vegetable if you care at all about yourself. Let us help you squash that habit. Please be careful, or you may turn up dead.
Hi, this is Lonnie Jordan of War, and I want to talk to you all about a social problem that's around us. One in particularly that we don't need, but we can all do something about. Smack and downers. They're ripping out the minds of our young brothers and sisters. So why don't we get ourselves together? Don't be a cop-out to hard drugs. Thank you.
I'm just being myself.
Hi, this is Dionne Warwick. A lot of misinformed people have been claiming that rock music stands for dangerous drugs. I say it does not. Dangerous drugs are a death trip. Music is a life trip. If you are into dangerous drugs, I suggest you listen to music instead.
Howdy, y'all. This is Jim Dandy with the old Black Oak, Arkansas bunch, and just sitting here ready to tell you what we feel about all these stories you've always heard about heroin. Well, we believe they're all true. You can't put stuff like that in your body. That's against our nature. So let's all try to get an up state of mind. Can't go wrong there. Well, see y'all another day.
You can talk about your sober, talk about your red, just any kind of downer, baby, gonna make it dead. Hello, he's Tom Shipley.
And he's Mike Brewer.
Don't mess around, smash. You may think you need something, but that ain't something you lack.
Hi, this is Harry Chapin. I'm not too big on authority or telling people what to do, and especially in terms of their private lives, and even more especially when I think our society has some rather silly rules. But one thing I think I can talk about is hard drugs and how they affect music. My old man, my father, is an old-time jazz musician who grew up during a time when Charlie Bird Parker and many of the other jazz greats were literally killing themselves on heroin. They thought they were playing much better stone, but the fact was that to those who listened to them night after night, they played much better when they were straight. Everybody knows about the greats of our time who have used hard stuff and are paying for it and who have paid for it with ruined talents and, well, sometimes death. And if the great ones can't make it good on the horse, then you and I can't either. If you're interested in yourself, then stay clean. Not for the fuzz, but because you can do much better music when you're not fuzzy-minded. Thank you.
Running down a dead-end street, where you think you're going? You're playing odds that you can't beat, where you think you're going?
This is Robert Lamb of Chicago. A lot of my friends and a lot of your friends aren't around anymore because of dope. I miss them.
This is John Batdorf.
And this is Mark Rodney.
If you're into heroin or downers, you're in a good chance of killing yourself. You know, we lost a lot of good musicians that way and a lot of other good people. You know, why take the chance of being next? Because it's really nowhere to take that stuff. Because there's really no way out if you keep taking that. There's other things to get high on, you know.
In my life I've gone both ways and in between.
This is Jim Messina. And this is Kenny Loggins. And we're here to talk to you about hard drugs, heroin, and barbiturates. We feel that most people who get involved in taking these drugs have found themselves at a dead-end street.
Keep it natural and stay away from the crap that's going to kill you. A lot better ways of getting high than hard drugs.
Let's live without them.
You got the thing in you.
Hi, this is Jim Croce. I think smack's a mess. I think there's no need for it. I mean, it isn't one of those drugs that makes anything better. I just think, there's so many positive things to get off on. I just keep going around on reaching for the brass ring, you know. That's what this old friend of mine told me. He was like 80 years old and was in a Navy vets hospital down in Philadelphia. And I said, "How you doing, George?" He says, "Sicker than hell, but still going around reaching for the brass ring, you know." There's always something, when somebody that old and that sick can still want to keep going around. There's no reason why a kid 15, 16 would want to do a deep six, check himself out behind some drug like smack. I mean, you only have one body. Why put a toe tag on it? This is Jim Croce saying, anybody want to, you can come mess around with Jim, but don't be messing around with no smack.
Find out where it's at. It's not hustling people strange to you, even if you do got a two-piece custom-made food.
This is Pat Simmons,
Tyrone Porter of the Doobie Brothers.
And we're here to say a little something about hard drugs, in particular heroin and barbiturates. You may not think that you're going to get hooked, and you may not think that it's going to hurt you, but in the long run,
it will.
Right on.
Hi there, this is America. We wanted to take the time to caution you about avoiding the use of heavy drugs. Your life is precious. If you throw it away, you won't get it back.
Here's Carl Wilson of the Beach Boys.
If you are using hard drugs, get off. They will hurt you, and they'll really wreck your life. You can experience a lot more of life and have a much better time at living if you clean it up.
Hello, this is Eddie Levert, William Powell, and Walter Williams of the OJs.
And we would like to say that if you're hung up on something that's going to put you to sleep, that's really nowhere.
Face it, the thing today is getting high. You can't say it's happening now, but it's some things you can't mess with, and skag is one.
Got to stay awake to stay alive.
Hi, we're the Staple Singers. I'm Yvonne, Cleo, Mavis.
And I'm Pop. I'd just like to say, please, don't use dangerous drugs because it's detrimental to your soul and your life. We need you, young people. Don't use drugs.
Please stay away from heroin.
Tim Weisberg talks about hard drugs.
If people are aware, I mean, if everybody's informed of, like, where the hard drug thing is really at, and you are in tune with your friends, you can tell when somebody is hurting, when somebody needs some type of strength, and that's, I think, where you can get support from friends who can give you that little bit of strength that it might take not to stick the needle in the arm.
Hi, this is Spencer Dryden from the New Riders, The Purple Sage.
I don't need no doctor.
If you've ever seen an audience that's on downs, smack, reds, quaaludes, all I can tell you is it's the bummer of the century for the band. Don't do it.
I know what's ailing me.
This is Burton Cummings from the Guess Who. Dangerous drugs never did anybody any good. Things like heroin and barbiturates and downers, etc. Maybe some of us believe that some of the drug laws should be altered. I believe that some of them are wrong. But as far as downers, heroin, and other things that can really screw you up, you should just stay away from them. Life's the most important thing, and don't ever forget that.
Hello, I'm Papa John. I don't dig heavy drugs. It's destroying too many beautiful minds and bodies. So be careful.
This is Ravi Shankar. As I travel around the world, I feel that the young people are searching for the means with which to attain peace, happiness, and spiritual awareness. Why not get high on life itself without using any drugs? You young ones, you have the elixir of life. You don't need hard drugs to make your life more meaningful.
When the morning sun has come, shine the darkness from my eyes.
Hello, people. This is Jesse Collignon, and I want to tell you how I feel about getting high. Now, I get high sharing a laugh with a friend or helping somebody who's really in trouble. And I get high learning about love from my lady or when I hold one of our babies. Really, people, it's such a good life, and there are so many natural highs to explore. Don't mess up your good life with dope.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years.
This is Jackson Brown. One day I was walking through a yard and I saw this friend of mine who was pretty high on smack, and he's sitting there and he's swinging the hammock. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, man." And he looked at me and he went, he looked sick, man. His skin didn't look too good. His eyes were sort of dull. You know, I mean, it was really like a dead end.
You must help me if you can.
Hi, I'm George Chambers of the Chambers Brothers, and I tell you the truth, man, if I ever took any heroin or something like that, I just know it would just freak me out so bad that I would never be able to communicate with anything anymore.
I got peace, I got love, I got happiness, and you can have it too now.
Hi, this is Billy Cobham. Do you know that some of the most positive things in life include love, constructive work, and music? But on the other hand, if you use hard drugs or anything that messes with your mind and your body, the joke may be on you. Many drugs use you, not the other way around. So please think about it. Thanks.
Hi, this is Lamont Dozier. You know, it's a shame how some people can abuse such beautiful creations, like your mind and your body. God gave us life to enjoy. Be kind and love yourself. Don't use hard drugs.
Taj Mahal talks about hard drugs.
There are much better things to do, and there's a lot of work to be done. And I do not, wish to have any of my partners, friends, or people that I don't know, not to be with me in what I'm doing. And I'm sure there are many other musicians who feel the same way. So don't use heroin or anything like that.
Well, I started out on bird
Judy Collins speaks about hard drugs.
The problem is that they're a terrible drag on most every area of your life. They're not anything to create on. It's not worth it for a second. It seems like it's pretty easy to go downhill very fast with these heavy drugs like heroin and the barbiturates. There's got to be some way to make positive energy out of your life. And if you lay around and say, man, it stinks and it's a drag and the system is rotten, and you're so far gone that you can't be alive and make it alive for other people, then it's a pointless drag. This is Judy Collins, asking you not to kill yourself, not to use hard drugs.
This is Beth Bevan of the Electric Light Orchestra speaking to you. When it comes to hard drugs, that's just bad news. Everyone else believes this. If I can convince anybody who's listening to this that hard drugs is bad news and you just shouldn't do it and you've just been so foolish to do it, then I'm really glad I've made this recording.
Hello, this is David Essex. Life is pretty much what you make it. Life can be a really beautiful experience all on its own. I know sometimes people forget this and try and find some kind of answer by using hard drugs. What usually happens is that life isn't beautiful anymore. So take my advice and get into life and not hard drugs.
Rock on! Rock on! Listen, people, if you really care about yourself, don't let hard drugs put you on a sale. Enjoy life as it comes the natural way, the natural high. Hi, I'm Jose Feliciano, and I just want to say to all of you guys who are listening, all of you people out there, that hard drugs are bad. And it's no lie, it's no game with hard drugs, because once you take them, you could get hooked. And once you're hooked, everything that you've worked for, everything that you strive for, just goes down the drain. Well, hard drugs can put you on a shelf. So enjoy life the natural way, grooving on a natural high.
Hello, this is Amy Fleetwood.
Hello, this is Amy Fleetwood.
And we want all those silly people
We want all those silly people
to stay off those nasty, nasty drugs.
Nasty, nasty drugs.
And thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He's telling me, boy, you better beware.
This is Christine McVie from Fleetwood Mac.
And Mick Fleetwood.
There was a young man called Jack who shot up his arm full of smack.
It didn't take long to know he'd been wrong, 'cause he found himself dead on his back.
Please stay off hard drugs.
I think you really know what I mean. Oh, 'cause it's the truth and you know.
Hello, this is John McVie from Fleetwood Mac. Our time on this planet is very short. Hard drugs just make it shorter. Please stay off, or if you're on, get off. Thank you.
This is Herbie Hancock. You know, a lot of people are into hard drugs like skag and downers, and they don't really realize how much they're playing with their bodies, their lives, and the natural abilities that they're born with. Let me tell you, you don't need that stuff to get into music or to get into yourself. Music is the finest high around.
Hello, this is Carol and Hester. If you're into heroin, unhook yourself and come clean. It can be done if you get help now. If you're into dangerous drugs, I suggest you listen to music instead. Get high on music and get high on life itself.
Coming on back, I'm coming on back to you. Yes, I'm coming on back.
Jumped the slow freight train to Alabama. This is Mickey Newberry. I told my junkie friends in Milwaukee, for the last time, friends, you will see me. I'm headed south to find out where I am.
The first thing that comes to mind is I want to help my friends kick the habit. Once you ever start chipping on heroin, you got it. I mean, you may kick it physically, but mentally you're 50 years old, and the minute that you're down, the first thing that comes to your mind is heroin, you know?
Where I am is where it's not.
Hello, this is Richard Perry. I'm a record producer. I've seen music make a lot of great changes over the past few years, and I've seen a lot of people change too. But some people get headed in the wrong direction and find themselves into hard drugs, like heroin and barbiturates. Music is about positive energy, and so is life. So if you care about yourself and the ones that love you, don't kill yourself with drugs. Thank you.
Don't pawn your clothes to feed your nose. Oh, because horse is the boss. Oh, you never make it, so don't take it. Lord, stay away from hard drugs.
Those are the persuasions asking you to get into harmony with life and not to use hard drugs.
Oh, you never make it, so don't you take it. Stay away from hard drugs.
This is Patrick Jivas and Mauro Pagani from PFM. You know, so much creativity were killed by heavy drugs, and it's a pity for each minute of our life.
I'm sure that everybody deserves and needs more than illusions.
Just believe in yourself. Don't let them kill you.
Hi, this is Tim Schmidt and Paul Cotton of Poco, and that's Rusty Young back there on the banjo. Anyone who is serious about music and really enjoys it knows that heroin and downers are garbage.
And hard drugs don't have anything to do with ideas or pleasure or good sounds.
If you're gonna go through changes, why don't you make them worthwhile?
That's right.
This is Linda Ronstadt. If you get high, be sure you don't die. Some drugs speed you up, and some drugs slow you down, and booze makes it all the more dangerous. Watch out for the things that might wreck you or your pickup truck.
So they say, but that game and they let it slip away.
We may never pass this way again. That's why Dash and I don't use drugs.
Music uplifts the hearts and minds of people everywhere, but drugs hinder the progress of the soul.
Hello, this is Carly Simon. Part of love is helping your brothers and sisters when they need you. Giving your friends strength is a beautiful gift. Using hard drugs aren't going to help you find anything you don't already know about, anything positive anyway. There are too many beautiful experiences in life. Don't lose them. Please stop and think about it. Thank you.
Hello out there, this is James Taylor. Sometimes it's hard not to get high, especially when everybody seems to be into it. You can tell yourself it's all right, you're just messing around, but it's easy to get in over your head. I used to get high, I don't anymore. Maybe I outgrew it, or maybe I just wore it out, I don't know, but looking back it seems like an awful waste of time. Perhaps you can benefit from my adventures and take some advice. Enjoy yourself, but be careful.
Something is made aside and I cannot say why. My God, we've seen the madness come. So many people have died. Something has got to change. There's just too much pain, and it's keeping us from the light of day and bringing on this rain.
This is Mary Travers. Heroin and downers are a terrible thing to get involved in. Think of your mind as a computer. You feed information into it daily, and over the years you will wish to retrieve that information. If you spend a greater part of the time in your life asleep, cooled out, you may have nothing to retrieve later. Not only does heroin destroy your body, but it will destroy your life.
Songwriter Paul Williams with some words about hard drugs.
I feel very enthusiastic about cracking down on the input of hard drugs into this country. I think it's really got to be controlled. And I think the single greatest villain in the entire country is really the general lack of knowledge regarding the harmfulness of certain drugs. I would hope that people would get off on other things.
For the family of man.
Hi, this is Bill Withers. A lot of times reality gets pretty difficult to deal with. I think the person's really cheating himself out of a lot of real challenge in life and a lot of the pleasure of functioning off of your own power when you use hard drugs, barbiturates, heroin and things like that.
I said, brother, if you only knew, you'd wish that you were. Take a straight and stronger course.
Hello, this is John Anderson of Yes. Leave the hard drugs alone, because they're not for our time, they're not for the city, and they're not for the people, and they're not for the young people. It is better to leave them alone. If any of your friends are into heavy things, try and coax them out of it on a warm, friendly level. Don't join in.
Hello, this is Michael Rutherford from Genesis. Life is a very positive thing, and so is music. And too many good people who take hard drugs lose out on all the goodness therein. And I would not see this to happen to any of you. So just think very carefully.
Well, how do? My name is Bob Weir, and I play with the Grateful Dead. And I'd just like to say that I've seen too many people just absolutely wasted by heroin. So if you're thinking about ever doing that, I'd have to caution you not to. I've seen too many people, like up-and-coming young musicians, that get into heroin and they don't up-and-come anymore.
Just keep trucking on. Skunk in the middle of the road.
Hello, this is Loudon Wainwright III. There are dead skunks in the middle of the road, and if you don't want to be a dead person in the middle of your life, I might advise you not to take heroin or other harmful, dangerous drugs. I personally prefer beer myself.
Hi there, this is Chipmunk. Since Woodstock, we've worked so many concerts in America and elsewhere with a lot of acts. Some aren't with us anymore. I've seen so many hollow faces trail off when the crowd leaves. Some can't leave. If heroin, barbiturates, or downers are making it easier for you now, they'll leave you when you need them. You better get used to yourself, because sometime soon it'll be time to go home.